oceans matter hugely. What we do on the land, we don't realise goes straight out to sea.
Our alien ocean is the biggest victim of humanity's hubris. Together, we own the crisis, and so together, we must come to face the music.
We all know time is running out. We all have a duty to act and a responsibility to take action now.
Mumbai, India's city of dreams. 18.5 million people living, working, existing.
For Indians, it's like every dirt must go into the waterways. Now, the exact problem of plastic in ocean is this. Now you come to the plastic graveyard here in the ocean.
The plastic graveyard.
Yeah,
there is plastic everywhere.
Yeah.
The pressures on this mega city are huge. But one of its greatest challenges is not of its own making.
This is devastation, Thomas. Have you seen so much plastic at a beach?
I've never seen so much plastic at a beach. This isn't a beach. It's horrendous.
Horrendous.
This is a rubbish dump, not a beach.
Under this tide of plastic is a beach of golden sand. Waste not produced by the city, but brought in by the currents of the Arabian Sea. Afroz Shah is an award-winning eco-warrior. The waterways around this fishing village once teemed with life, but slowly they've been choked to death. Afroz is one of the delegates attending the Our Ocean conference in Malta. He's come here to share his story with leaders from more than 100 countries. All have a common purpose: to save our oceans.
Littering starts with us. Spoiling of the environment starts with us. Turning our ocean into sewer has been done by us. Each of us are responsible for here, and we must own up. And when you own up, you will try to correct the situation.
This is the fourth conference. Previous ones have seen billions of pounds pledged to protect our seas. But money alone will not save the oceans and the fragile ecosystem that thrives there. In a little over 50 years, we've become almost totally dependent on plastic. We use some 320 million tonnes of it every year, but only 5% of it is effectively recycled. Much of it ending up being junked in our oceans. Prince Charles is a passionate conservationist. His love affair with the sea started as a young boy, and it grew while he was a sailor in the Royal Navy.
All these problems are accelerating and multiplying at the same time. And what I've been trying to say all these years is, you don't wait until it's a total disaster before you do something. It's a terrible aspect of human nature that we wait for proof. So what I was trying to say was, we're testing the world to destruction. So by the time you have actually tested it and discovered, oh yes, there's the evidence, it's too late. But the oceans matter hugely. But the problem is, it's so out of sight and out of mind. And what we do on the land, we don't realise goes straight out to sea. So all the chemicals and pesticides and everything else and nitrates we pour on the land all disappear out to sea. Very often in many parts of the world form dead zones and everything else.
One of the Prince's key concerns is sustainable fishing. Populations have been plundered by unregulated overfishing, and these stocks need time to grow again. But there's also a real worry about ghost nets, discarded lines and gear, continuing to cause massive damage long after their initial use has been served. It's a serious problem, even here for the small island that is hosting this year's Ocean Conference. This is some of the plastic fishing gear that's been abandoned by a trawler off the coast of Malta after snagging on a reef. Yet it continues to catch marine life. Volunteer divers use inflated bags to lift the nets to the surface, 500 kilos from one area in just 2 days. But it's nowhere near enough. Worldwide, 640,000 tons of fishing equipment is lost at sea every year.
This has been done there probably for a few years already because there is some growth on it, but you can see that it's easy for animals to get entangled in it. Often we find new nets which has been done there for 1 or 2 weeks. Already in those nets we find so much marine life getting entangled and attracting other animals.
What you need to do is organize the fishing in a way that enables the fish and everything that the fish depend on to survive in their ecosystems. It's called an ecosystem-based approach to fisheries management. It's no good just letting people fish everywhere with bigger and bigger boats, with cleverer and cleverer technology to find and suck up every single last fish. That's crazy. That's not conservation. It's madness.
I feel the passion in your voice.
Well, that's what's been going on. I'm not saying you have to stop fishing. You have to do it in a way that will actually produce more fish for us all, but by managing it properly.
Prince Charles talks about a blue economy, a business model that takes its commitment to the aquatic environment seriously. And driven by this understanding, Sky has continued with its promise to put the environment at the heart of what it does.
Plastic is flowing into our oceans at an unprecedented rate. We all know time is running out. We all have a duty to act and a responsibility to take action now.
Sky's Ocean Rescue campaign was launched in January this year. It's already engaged with over 6 million people. Plasticus, a 10-metre whale made from the same amount of plastic that enters the ocean every second, has toured the UK helping to spread awareness. The campaign has seen many communities join forces, volunteers inspired and motivated to join hands and organise local cleanups. Sky's Chief Executive Officer, Jeremy Darroch, has also announced a number of key pledges that will not only see Sky continue to take the lead on environmentally sound business practices, but help its business partners and supply chain transform their operations.
First of all, that as a company, we are going to be free of single-use plastics by 2020. So right throughout our business, whether it's in our operations, our supply chains, we will eliminate all single-use plastics as a company and really take the lead in our own business in showing the way. Now, in addition to that, we're doing 2 other things. First of all, we're going to establish an innovation fund anchored by our own capital, so we'll be putting in £25 million of our own money to work with young startups, new businesses, to develop solutions to plastics in the oceans and work with people who are going to actually help us solve this problem, either by investing in those businesses, encouraging them, potentially giving them access to Sky and all of our capabilities. And then finally, with WWF, we're going to be working on marine protection areas.
The idea of an ocean being killed by plastic can be hard for some people to really understand. Vast bodies of water slowly choking on waste doesn't easily translate as an environmental disaster. Not in the same way as the death of a single whale. The idea that a discarded bag of shopping could cause one of these incredible animals to die a lingering, painful death illustrates the crisis in our seas better than any statistic. And this stark realization is exactly what happened to a small fishing community in western Norway when a Cuvier's beaked whale swam into a shallow inlet to die.
First time it was behind that small boat there.
This animal, it was not healthy. I loaded my gun. I went down and I shot it.
We had a researcher with us who was interested in the feeding habits of whales.
I wanted to see what's actually in the stomach.
As soon as we were able to see what was inside, we were all shocked.
It was more looking like a garbage bag, just masses and masses of plastic bags twisted into each other and forming like one big lump of plastic.
To be honest, I thought, holy this is a whale full of plastic.
It was just one bag after the other.
Handfuls of plastic.
Over 30 pieces, and felt like it's endless, really.
Complete shopping bags and wrappers and food bags, that's when it hit us. We had a plastic whale.
We all have a duty to help preserve this planet for future generations. But perhaps it is they who already understand exactly what is at stake.
How will future generations ever forgive us for destroying the viability of the natural world that is our ultimate sustainer?
I don't put a bit on the beach.
You don't put a bit on the beach. You just clean up everybody else's mess.
Yeah.
We're basically trying to tackle plastic pollution in a range of different ways. We have 4 main goals in our campaign, and it's educating, inspiring, clearing bottles off supermarket shelves, and just small things like that can have a big change.
Being the future generation, we saw that plastic pollution was an issue that we're going to inherit, and being kids, we just wanted to try and make that plastic legacy as small a one as possible for when we grow up.
The very fact that this conference is taking place at all is proof that the threat to our oceans from the plastic tide is slowly being understood. The European Union has pledged 560 million euros to try and tackle this problem. But money alone is not the answer. It will be down to each and every one of us to understand that collectively, every action we take has major, life-destroying consequences.
Ese es un poco ahora. Oh man! Show me, please.